a man walks at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour and covers the distance in 6 hours. Find first one, the time taken to cover the same distance. The speed is 6 kilometers per hour. Second one, the speed if it takes 10 hours to cover the same distance. First one, the time taken to cover the same distance if the speed is 6 kilometers per hour. Given when the speed is 5 kilometers per hour, time taken is 6 hours. We have to find the time taken when the speed is 6 kilometers per hour. Let the time taken be x hours. Now, ratio of speeds is equal to 5 to 6, or we can write it as 5 by 6. Ratio of the time taken is equal to 6 is to x, or we can write it as 6 by x. Inverse ratio of the time taken is equal to inverse of 6 by x, that is equal to x by 6. Speed and time taken are in inverse proportion or inverse variation. That is, if the speed increases, time taken will decrease. If the speed decreases, time taken will increase. As speed and time taken are in inverse proportion, ratio of the speed will be equal to inverse ratio of the time taken. Substitute the values of ratio of speed and inverse ratio of time taken in this formula. Then 5 by 6 will be equal to x by 6. Cross multiply. 6 into x is equal to 5 into 6. To find x, we have to transpose 6 from LHS to RHS. 6 is the multiplier. When transposed, it becomes divisor. So x is equal to 5 into 6 by 6. Let us simplify this in the rough work. Common factor of 6 and 6 is 6. Divide both of them with common factor. When we divide 6 with 6, we get 1. When we divide 6 with 6, we get 1. The values left are 5 into 1 by 1, which is equal to 5. So, x is equal to 5 hours. Time taken to cover the distance when the speed is 6 kilometers per hour is 5 hours. Next one, the speed if it takes 10 hours to cover the same distance. Given when the time taken is 6 hours, speed is 5 kilometers per hour. We have to find the speed when the time taken is 10 hours. Let the speed be x kilometers per hour. Ratio of the time taken is equal to 6 is to 10, or we can write it as 6 by 10. Let us simplify this in the rough work. Common factor of 6 and 10 is 2. Divide both of them with common factor. When we divide 6 with 2, we get 3. When we divide 10 with 2, we get 5. The values left are 3 by 5, which is equal to 3 by 5. Ratio of the time taken is equal to 3 by 5. Ratio of speeds is equal to 5 is to x, or we can write it as 5 by x. Inverse ratio of speeds is equal to inverse of 5 by x, that is equal to x by 5. Now, time taken and speed are in inverse proportion or inverse variation. If the time taken is more, then the speed is less. If the time taken is less, then the speed will be more. So, as these are in inverse proportion, ratio of the time taken is equal to inverse ratio of the speeds. Substitute the values of ratio of time taken and inverse ratio of speed in this formula. Then 3 by 5 is equal to x by 5. Cross multiply 5 into x is equal to 3 into 5. To find x, we have to transpose 5 from LHS to RHS. 5 is the multiplier. When transposed, it becomes divisor. So x is equal to 3 into 5 by 5. Let us simplify this in the rough work. Common factor of 5 and 5 is 5. Divide both of them with common factor. When we divide 5 with 5, we get 1. When we divide 5 with 5, we get 1. The values left are 3 into 1 by 1, which is equal to 3. So x is equal to 3 kilometers per hour. If the time taken is 10 hours, then the speed is 3 kilometers per hour.